Anything other than a block?
You can grab a block if you'd like. If you have blocks, you can use those. I always have mine handy. All right, welcome to Friday Flow, everybody. Go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. You can see I'm sitting on my block. So if you have tight hips, this will help. Give a little more space and room to breathe. Let's go ahead and start with a nice big inhale. Reach those arms up. And exhale, take it down. Let's do this a couple more times. Nice deep breath in. All the way in and exhale it out. Inhale, reach. And exhale. This time on your exhale, you're going to twist over that right shoulder to bring those arms up. And exhale over to the right. Starting a gentle twist. Come back up through the center. And exhale to the left. Nice knees. Let's do that again. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, take it to the side. I want you to sit up nice and tall here. Back up and over to the left. We'll do it one more time on each side. Inhale and exhale. Pressing those hips into the floor as you find length. Exhale, twist through the crown of the head. Arms come back up to the top, inhale. Then exhale, I want you to bend those elbows. Bring them down nice and slow, opening up through the chest. Lift your head back, tilting your chin up. Keep squeezing those elbows back, lifting through the chest. Inhale, one more time, and exhale, once you bring your elbows in, forward fold. And then inhale, once you open it back up. Pulling those shoulder blades together, and then exhale, bring them together. And fold forward. Couple more times, inhale, it's almost like a mini back bend here. And then exhale, bringing that navel in towards your spine. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, you're pulling those elbows apart. And then exhale, you're bringing them in. And you can take those hands down to the floor. Slowly lift up. Let's start with our right arm. Take it up on your inhale. And exhale, reach it over to that left side. Let's do it two more times. Inhale. And exhale, reach one last time. Then we're going to hold that one there. Hold this here. Press those hips into the floor. So a great place to use your block if you have one. So if you're feeling a little tight this morning, you can always place your hand on that block. If you're already really stretched out, you can lower to your elbow. So just finding what works well for your body this morning and what feels good. One more breath. Take your gaze up at your elbow. Keep that chest open and lifted. And then pressing into that hip, come back up to the center. Inhale, exhale, let it go. A couple shoulder rolls before we go to the other side. Make sure you're nice and comfortable if you're just joining us. So now we're going to take that left arm. Inhale, reach it over to the right as we exhale. Two more times. As we start to just gently wake up the body. Last time, you're going to hold it. Same thing here. Feel free to use your block. Feel free to lower to your elbow, whatever feels good. Pressing that left hip into the floor so you're finding even more space through that side body. Take your gaze at your elbow, looking up slightly and keeping that chest open and lifted. One more breath. And then slowly coming back to the center as we inhale and then exhale. Take your hands to your knees. We're going to create circles with our upper body. So you're going to imagine that you have like a pen or a paintbrush right on your chest. And you're going to draw a circle with it. So you're going to go to the front, side, back, and the other side. So you're creating this circle in one direction. So we're just sort of generating some heat and movement in the body and warming up the spine a little bit. I want you to do one more in this direction. And now I want you to go to the other direction. Front, side, back. Imagine that paintbrush right at the top of your chest. And you're trying to make a big circle with your upper body. Almost like an isolation with that rib cage. Do one more in this direction. Come back to center. Okay, now we're going to do a seated cat-cow. Hands can stay right on your knees here. As you inhale, you're going to lift and press the chest forward, pull those elbows back, arch the back here, and then exhale, you're going to round the spine and tuck the chin. Those hands slide back to your knees. And then again, inhale, slide those hands to your hips, pull your shoulder blades and lift your chest, and then exhale. I'm just going to show you from the side. Keep going. I want you to really exaggerate this movement. You can be on your shins with me or stay in that cross-legged position. But inhale, see how I really push my chest forward, and then exhale, round. So let's do a couple more like this. Inhale, pressing the chest, you're pulling those shoulders back and together, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, and exhale. All right, let's come out of this seated position. So you're going to come to this position here with your feet on the floor, knees bent. Hands are behind you. We're just going to start with windshield wiper, dropping those legs, those knees from side to side. You can allow those hips to come off the floor. So just going to go inhale and exhale. Start to wake up those hips a little bit. So the knees do not have to touch the floor. Just going from side to side. Do one more on each side. And then you're going to come back to the center. I'm going to show you from the side. We're going to do another version of a cat-cow. So inhale, you lift the chest, hands come behind you. Maybe take that head up and back. That feels comfortable. And then exhale, tuck the chin, and you're going to fold forward. You're going to slide those hands to reach your feet. And then slide back, hands come behind. Inhale, as if you're lifting up and away from the mat. And then exhale, you fold it forward. Let's do a couple of those. Inhale, lift the chest, exhale, forward fold. 2 more. Inhale, and exhale. Let's do it one more time in the seated position. Inhale, and exhale. All right, now let's come into our tabletop and do our last version of cat-cow in our more traditional way. Knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders, feet nice and flat here. I don't want you to tuck those toes, so keep them nice and flat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, and then exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. And again, inhale. And exhale. So just going through this a couple of times at your own pace, nice and easy. Inhale and exhale. On your inhale, think of sinking into the mat. On your exhale, think of lifting away from it. And we'll do one more cat-cow. So one more time through. And then go ahead and sit back in child's pose. First, bring those knees a little bit wider, feet together, and sit back onto your heels. Drop that head in between your arms. And gently rock from side to side. Take 2 breaths here. So some alternatives or options here. You could do a lot of these movements seated in a chair if your knees are a little extra sensitive. So you could sit on the edge of your chair, do a forward fold, which would mimic child's pose. All right, let's go ahead and slowly come on up, back to that tabletop, and then we're actually gonna come all the way down into our chest and belly. So all the way down. I want you to bring your legs about hip distance, hands under those shoulders. We're gonna go into a gentle baby cobra, nice and slow. Doesn't matter how high you lift off the floor. We're just warming up those muscles and stretching out the spine. Chin down as you inhale, press into the floor. Lift away from the floor, and then exhale, lower. We're gonna do a couple of these. Remember, be gentle with your body. Inhale, lift. Keep your legs on the floor. You're just lifting your chest and upper body. And then exhale, lower. Couple more times. Now, if your shoulders are feeling a little sensitive or your elbows, you can just bring your hands wider, a little bit further away from your shoulders. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Let's try it one more time. Inhale, lift. Shoulders down, elbows back. And exhale. Perfect. Turn your head to one side, arms down by your side. Just relax here for a moment. While you do that, I want you to bend your knees, lifting those feet off the floor, and we're going to do the windshield wiper in this position. Just dropping those legs from side to side. Again, the feet don't have to touch the floor. You're just going from right to left here. Waking up the lower back. All right, slowly lower those legs back to the floor. Okay, you're gonna bring your head back to center. Arms stay down by your side. We're gonna go into locust pose to warm up those muscles. So inhale, you're gonna lift everything off the mat. Keep your chin down. Your gaze is right on the mat in front of you. Arms and legs are straight. You're lifting as high as you can off the floor. You're gonna hold this for 8, 7, keep breathing, 6, 5, make sure those legs are straight. You're lifting from your glutes, from those hips. We've got 3, a little higher, 2, squeeze those shoulder blades, and 1. Relax, turn your head to the other side. Hold this just for a moment. All right, come back to center. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift, and exhale. You're gonna hold this for a couple of breaths. Lift as high as you can. Make sure there's no bend in those knees, so keep your legs super straight. Really squeeze your glutes to lift the legs. Rather than bending those knees, hold. Lift a little higher for 3, for 2, and for 1. Relax. Tuck your toes. Place those hands under your shoulders. You're gonna gently press yourself up and back. We're gonna find downward facing dog this time. So tuck the toes, spread those fingers, lift those hips way up to the ceiling or to the sky. Pedal out your heels. Press your chest towards your thighs. Nudge your head yes. Shake your head no. Allow your head, neck, and shoulders to completely relax here. Letting go of that tension, pushing those shoulders down and away. Hold your down dog for a few more breaths. Trying to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Next inhale, we're gonna come forward to our plank. You're gonna stack the shoulders right on top of your wrists. Tuck those hips, keeping those knees lifted, legs nice and straight. Your gaze is right in front of those fingers. Exhale, you're gonna lower the knees and lower the chest, all as one unit. Elbows back, flatten those toes. Inhale, there's your baby cobra. Lift up halfway. Exhale, lower, retuck the toes. Come back up to your downward facing dog. Now, if any of that is uncomfortable today, you can take out some of those movements. You can always come back to a child's pose. We're gonna go through it 2 more times. So choose whatever version or variation of that you'd like to do. You could go slower, maybe a little faster, whatever you'd like. So inhale, let's come forward to that plank, or you can just follow along with me. You're tucking your hips under, so your core is locked in. And then exhale, knees and chest. Your chest should fall in front of your fingertips. Flatten those feet. Inhale, lift baby cobra. Exhale, retuck the toes. Come back up. Downward facing dog. We're gonna try it one more time just to get a little bit warmer. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale for chaturanga, knees and chest. Keep that space in between your ears and your shoulders. Inhale, lift baby cobra. And exhale, reach up the toes. Down and back, hold that there, down dog or child's pose. Hold it for just a couple more breaths. You're gonna work into those hips a little bit. One more breath. All right, bring those feet together. As you inhale, you're gonna slowly lift that left leg off the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend that knee. Place your foot in between your hands. You can provide a little assistance there. You're gonna gently lower to your back knee. Flatten your toe. Here's a great place to use those blocks. We're gonna come into our low lunge. So inhale, lift those arms, and exhale, hold. Drop forward, getting a big stretch in that right hip flexor. So if you have blocks, you can use them here. Hold this low lunge. Keep that core nice and strong here. Getting a big stretch through that hip flexor. One more breath. Inhale, take those hands down. As you exhale, we're going to take our hands on the inside of our leg. And you're going to open up your left foot just a little bit out towards the side, just so we can get a little bit lower, almost like lizard pose. So your hands are either on the floor, they're on blocks, whatever feels good here. Just want you to take a couple of breaths in this position. Feel free to maybe move your hips around just a little bit if that feels comfortable. Just getting into those hips. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our hips, whether we sit or stand all day. So it's just important to work through that. And it will help us flow a little bit better in our everyday movements. All right, one more breath here in sort of this half lizard. And then slowly come back up. You can bring that foot back to the center. Reach those arms up as you inhale, and exhale, take those hands down. We're gonna step back and just do the same thing on the other side. So you can always use your blocks here. You're gonna step it back. You can use your blocks like this as well. We're gonna do the other side. So bring those feet together, and on your next inhale, your right leg is gonna lift up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, you bend that knee, and you place your foot in between your hands. So again, tight hips or tight hamstrings, using the blocks like this is really helpful. You're gonna drop that back knee, flatten that foot, and then reach the arms up. So they help because you'll notice I don't have to reach to touch the floor. I bring the floor up a little bit higher to meet me where I'm at. So really, really helpful if you have those blocks. Hold this right here. If you're by a wall, that's helpful too. So holding this here, getting a stretch in that hip flexor. We'll do one more breath. Inhale, take those hands down. Exhale, you're gonna take a little step out with that right foot. Open up from that hip. So now your hands are gonna go on the inside of that leg. Hands are on the floor, they're on blocks, any which way you want. But keep those hips down. And we don't want our shoulders to roll forward completely here. So still keep your chest slightly lifted while you lean down and find a little more space in those hips here. We're gonna hold this for just a couple breaths. You might feel an intense stretch. That's okay, keep breathing. We'll do one more breath here. And then very slowly, you want to rotate that foot back in and face forward. Reach those arms up, inhale. And exhale, take those hands down. You're going to step right back to down dog. And then we'll come up to standing. So step it on back to your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, you're going to bend your knees. And then exhale, you're going to walk, hop, or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Again, you could use those blocks any which way you'd like. We're in forward fold. Our next inhale takes us to standing. So nice and slow, you're going to extend those arms all the way up. You're going to bring your palms together as you exhale, maybe a mini back bend, and slowly bring those hands back down to heart center. Okay, so we're gonna go through a flow. Hopefully you can move a little bit better since we got sort of that deep hip stretch. Reach up, inhale, and exhale, let's float it down. Leading with the chest. Inhale, you're gonna lift up halfway. So you're gonna create a nice flat back. Hands come to your shins or your knees, and I want you to push your heels into the floor. So feel that stretch behind the legs. Exhale, you're going to release. Let's go ahead and step our right leg back. Warrior one, just a medium step. Glue your heel to the floor, lift your chest. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, hold. Feel free to interlace those fingers for a little extra intensity. You can interlace, bring those arms to your ears. If that's too much, you can find that cactus pose. One more breath here. Inhale, I want you to straighten that front leg. And as you exhale, I want you to keep those arms together. And if they're not interlaced, they're just still up. As you exhale, lean forward slightly, still creating that flat back here. Now, if arms in front is too much for your shoulders, take them by your side. Find this flat back for just 2 more breaths before we rotate into a triangle. 1 more breath here, flat back. And then as you exhale, if those arms are extended, you're gonna take that left hand down and open right up to triangle pose. And stack that right arm. Same thing if those arms are by your side. Drop one and extend the other. So first one, maybe you're still opening up your shoulders so that back hand can stay on your hip, right? And you're just encouraging that shoulder to open. You can start up a little bit higher. Hold this for a couple breaths. Maybe you have that wall and you want to practice. Remember, keep your chest open and lifted. 1 more breath. Inhale, push into your back foot. And exhale, release. We're gonna open right up to warrior two. So I want you to extend those arms up. Lift your back heel off the floor. Open that hip. Plant your heel and lower to warrior two. Readjust your position. Arms nice and strong. That's why I wanted to go into our hips and open them up. So we can go right into warrior two. Inhale, straighten that leg, arms up. Exhale, drop a little lower. Try it 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. So find your lowest point, wider stance for this one. All the while you're keeping that core nice and strong, tucking those hips under just a little bit. Your gaze is over that front hand. Flip that palm, inhale and exhale. Here comes peaceful warrior. Take your gaze up at your hand. Big side stretch. 1 more breath. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale, take that heel off the floor. We're just gonna cartwheel those hands down. We bring our hips back to face the front. Hands come to you either your blocks or the floor, and you step on back to your down dog. We'll go through our floor sequence. Inhale, forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Baby cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Up to you. We'll do that same sequence on the other side. You're going to take 2 breaths in either your child's pose or your down dog. 1 more breath. Hopefully nice and warm already. Next inhale, you're going to bend those knees. Exhale, you're going to walk, hop, or jump. Forward fold. Find that forward fold. 1 more breath. Next inhale takes us to standing. Nice and slow. Bring it up. Maybe a little mini back bend. Hands come together. Exhale. Okay, other side. Take it up. Inhale. And exhale. Float it down. Let it go. Lift it halfway, flat back. So this is what we mimic right before we go from our transition to our warrior one to our triangle. You're in this nice flat back. And then go ahead and release. Left foot, medium step back. Find warrior one. When you're ready, reach those arms up and hold. Front leg is slightly bent, back leg is straight. Maybe interlace those fingers. Glue your arms to your ears. Deep breaths, in and out through the nose, if you can. All right, you're gonna go ahead and straighten that front leg, inhale, and then exhale. You're gonna imagine your hips being pulled back behind you as you lower those arms. And again, they can be in front or they can be by your side. Either way, you're trying to find a flat back. And you're gonna hold that flat back for 2 breaths. So again, hips being pulled back as those hands are being pulled in the opposite direction or the top of your head. And then exhale. This time that right arm comes down and you stack that left arm. Find triangle pose. Adjust accordingly. Maybe lift up a little bit higher. Maybe you go a little lower. Hand is right on top of your shoulder. And you're looking up at that hand. So big twist in that upper body here. Open up the shoulder. Keep breathing. One more breath. We're going to use those side muscles to pull ourselves up. So push into your back foot. Inhale, slowly come up. Good. Exhale, release those arms. Reach them back up. Lift that heel. Inhale. And then exhale, you're going to open that hip. Take a step back. Find your warrior 2. Shoulders down. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Arms up. And exhale, just to sort of settle in. One more time, find your lowest point. Exhale, hold it. So you want your shoulders on top of those hips. Perfect, you look beautiful. Stitch that rib cage together, right? Flip that hand, inhale. Exhale, take it back, peaceful warrior. Taking your gaze up at your hand. Big stretch, just like we did in the very beginning of class, those side bends. So big stretch in that side body. And then inhale, take it back. Exhale, pop your heel off the floor and cartwheel your hands down. Hands on either side of your foot, on your mat or on your blocks. And you're gonna step back to down dog. And go through your flow. You can also choose to just find a child's pose here. So we're in our plank, chaturanga. Maybe you do that full version without lowering the knees. Just be mindful of your back. And then find your down dog again or child's pose. We're gonna go through the whole sequence again on the other side. I want you to take 2 deep breaths wherever you're at. You're all doing great. One more breath. We're just gonna keep moving. All right, next one, bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, walk up or jump, forward fold. If you've never tried the blocks, using them the way that I'm using them, you should try it. It makes the movements, transitions much easier if you have tight hamstrings and hips like me. Inhale takes us to standing. And exhale, palms come together, maybe mini back bend. And bring it down to the center. All right, let's keep going. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, let it go. Always remember to take this at your own pace. Inhale, lift halfway. Nice flat back. Want you to lift your chest here. Open the chest. And then exhale. Step back, right leg, warrior 1. Going right into it. Interlace those fingers, extend. Nice, deep breaths. Want you to feel every muscle working in each of these poses. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, lower down. Keep your legs straight, flat back. Arms are either by your ears or go down by your hips, but your back is flat. So imagine those hips being pulled back so you can lower the chest and find that flat back. Perfect. Feeling a big stretch in those calves and hamstrings. One more breath. Inhale, drop that left hand and exhale, open up that right arm for triangle pose. Maybe get a little bit deeper into it. Maybe find a wall. We're gonna hold for a couple breaths. So open up. Hold up there, let me check it out. Nice straight legs. You can have a tiny micro bend in that front knee, nice. Good, Mindy, great form. Beautiful, Joanne. Nice, Regina, nice straight body. Looking good, everybody. One more breath. Press into your back foot, inhale. And exhale, I'm gonna add a layer. We're gonna step to chair. Drop the hips, lift the arms. Drop it into chair. We're gonna hold for just a couple breaths. Remember the arm placement. You can have the hands in prayer, sensitive shoulders. If you're okay, extend those arms. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of balance. So everyone take your hands to prayer. Inhale, you're gonna lift that right leg up. Hold it here for just a couple of breaths. I want you to keep that foot flexed, 90 degrees, nice and tall here. We're gonna hold it for just 2 more breaths before we step back to a high lunge. So tuck those hips under. Core is lifting that leg up. 1 more breath. And then inhale, you're gonna slowly hinge back. Step back to a lunge as you exhale. So big, big step back. Reach those arms up, inhale, and exhale, hold. So we did our low lunge earlier, high lunge now. 1 more breath. This will transition to that warrior 2. We're already in a nice wide-legged stance. So inhale, lift. Exhale, open that heel, plant, open your hip, plant your heel, and lower for warrior 2. Hold this here. Arms nice and strong. 1 more breath in peaceful warrior. Then we're gonna add another balance. Flip that palm, inhale and exhale. Reach it on back. Little extra here. I want you to straighten your front foot. Push into the floor and reach an inch further back. Inhale, come back to that warrior 2. Exhale, lift that heel off the floor. So instead of cartwheeling our hands back down, we're going to take those arms up, come back to our high lunge. Bring your hands to prayer. Inhale, lean forward. Probably know what's happening here. Exhale, we're gonna find our warrior 3. So push off your back foot and lift that leg off the floor. Balancing on 1 foot. Keep those hip bones facing the floor. Hold that there. Now we have been practicing half moon, so if you want to practice that here today, you certainly can. First, find a nice strong warrior 3. Feel free to use the wall or the bench. Want to practice your half moon, go ahead and stack those hips, lift them up. If you're unsure, to stay right here in that warrior 3. Squeeze those glutes, keep that back leg nice and straight. We're gonna hold this for 2 more breaths wherever you're at. Maybe arms are by your side, like you're flying. 1 more breath, or you're in that full standing half moon. Inhale, you're gonna step right back to that lunge. Reach those arms up, and exhale, take those hands down. Great job, step back, down dog. Woo. Inhale forward to your plank, or you can find a child's pose, right? Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Hold that for 2 breaths. We'll do that same sequence on the other side, adding in those extra layers. And poses. 1 more breath. Good job, everybody. All right, next inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump, forward fold. Take a breath. Inhale takes us to standing. Pressing those heels into the floor. And exhale, bring those palms together, lower down. All right, other side, I'm gonna keep that momentum going. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, float it down. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Shoulder blades together, lifting that chest. And exhale, left leg. Warrior 1, step back, arms up and hold. Interlace those fingers, get a nice stretch for the back of the heel here, the back of the leg. Keep those hips facing forward. Glue your arms to your ears. 1 more breath. Inhale, straighten that front leg, and exhale, slowly lower the body. Imagine your hips are being pulled back behind you. You're looking for a flat back, either arms by your ears or by your side. Nice flat back wherever you're at. So I could balance my cup of coffee on your back and it would not fall over. You should be as flat as my bench right behind me. One more breath, inhale, and then exhale. Drop that right arm, extend that left, and find your triangle pose. Hold this here. If your arm is completely extended, that hand, that wrist should be right on top of your shoulder. If it's not completely extended, you're just encouraging that shoulder to open and you're still looking up. Hold that for a couple breaths. You check it out. Maybe find that wall. Definitely makes it harder when you practice against the wall. Good job, everybody. One more breath. Big, lift that chest a little bit higher. Push into your back foot. Inhale and exhale. Here's that first change. Step forward to your chair. Drop the hips, lift the arms. You're at the top of the mat. Arms extended or maybe by your chest. Hold this here for a couple breaths, making sure you can wiggle your toes here. Dropping into those glutes. Feel those quads. Nice, get nice and warm. Everyone, hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, this time the other leg lifts. I want you to imagine a piece of string, the top of your head, lifting you up a little bit taller here. Nice 90-degree angle with your leg. We hold this for just a couple breaths. Think of squeezing your glutes just a little bit, tucking those hips under. Nice and tall. Starting to feel that leg to shake. One more breath. And then inhale, hinge forward, extend that leg, and exhale, step back to that high lunge. Arms come up, and we hold. So hips are low, back leg is nice and straight, pressing through that heel. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, open that hip, plant your heel, finding that warrior two. Take a few breaths. You should have equal amount of weight in your front leg as your back leg. So make that adjustment if you find that there's a little more weight going forward. Flip that palm, inhale and exhale, lift back. Take your gaze up, big stretch here. Straighten out your front leg, press into the floor. Can you find another inch of space for the stretch? And then inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale, lift that heel, take that back arm, swing it to the front, reach up, palms come together, exhale, bring them down to your chest. You're gonna lean forward and come up for your warrior three. Push into the floor and lift up. Remember, lifting away from the floor in our balance. Back leg is straight. If you're ready, you can extend those arms by your side like we did in locust pose on the floor in the beginning of class. Keeping that chest lifted. If you want to try the extra challenge and you're ready, you're going to stack those hips. Find that standing half moon. Maybe just start by holding on to something in front of you. Hold it for a couple more breaths. If you fell out of it, great, get back into it. We're all just here to practice, that's okay. Squeeze those glutes. Let's try one more breath. I just want that back leg straight. I don't care how high it is. And then inhale, step it on back. Woo! And exhale, hands down. Good job. Step it back, down dog. You can go through your sequence here. You can find child's pose. Whatever you like. We're just gonna go through all of that one more time. One more time on each side. So take a little breather. Child's pose, down dog. Great job, everybody. So last time through our challenge, we're just gonna hold each pose for about 1 or 2 breaths. So we're gonna focus on the transitioning of each pose. And we're gonna go through it a little bit faster, okay? So you get one more opportunity. Next breath, you're gonna bend those knees. Inhale, exhale, hop, walk, jump, forward fold. Inhale takes us to standing. We're gonna go right into our forward fold here. Exhale, let it go. Okay, here we go. Inhale, lift. As each pose is 1 or 2 breaths. And exhale. Right leg, warrior one. Not gonna cue every breath either. Make sure you're breathing. Straighten that leg, inhale, exhale, lower, flat back. Choose that version. Hips back, pull those shoulders up. Next breath, float right into your triangle pose. Big twist. Extend that arm, lift the chest. Push back, inhale, lift, exhale, chair pose. Get a little bit lower, drop. Stay focused. Hands together, inhale, lift that leg. And exhale, step it back. High lunge. Inhale a little higher, exhale, warrior two. Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, peaceful warrior. Straighten that leg. Big stretch. Inhale and exhale, reach those arms. Palms come together, press off that foot, warrior three. So here's where we're gonna hold for a couple breaths. You want to try that standing half moon. You're actually going to stack your hips so your right hip lifts up a little bit higher. Left hand can just be down by your knee, and then you can extend that right arm. Or maybe you're using a bench or a wall. I point my toe, just helps me get my leg a little straighter. Hold that there, warrior three, standing half moon, any version of it. Challenge yourself this morning. Try to hold it for one more breath. You got it. And then inhale, step it back. Woo, exhale. Down dog. Go through your flow or hold your down dog. One more time on the other side. Just gonna give you one additional breath here. In your down dog or child's pose. Bend the knees. Next inhale, walk, hop, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale takes us up. Woo, and exhale, we're gonna float it down. One more time, everybody. Inhale, lift. Flat back. Exhale. Step it back, warrior one. Straighten that leg, inhale. Exhale, lower the arms, upper body. Find your flat back. Your arms in front or by your side. Next, inhale, drop that hand, and exhale, open up for your triangle, other side. Lifting that chest, stacking that hand, push into that foot, inhale, lift, exhale, drop into your chair. Go a little bit lower here. Extend those arms, keep that core nice and strong. Hands together, inhale, lift that leg. Exhale, step it back. High lunge. Big, big step. Drop those hips as low as you can. Lift up, transition, warrior two. Exhale. Get as low as you can, arms super strong. Flip that palm, inhale. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Take your gaze up. Press into the mat. Straighten that leg, find a little more. Inhale, take it down. Reach those arms, get ready for your warrior three. Press off the floor and lift. Warrior three or standing half moon. Whatever you want to practice here. Hold this here. So either way, this is a lot about the core, right? So think of like you're holding a plank, stitching your rib cage together, tuck your hips under a little bit. That will definitely help. Warrior three, your hip bones face the floor. Half moon, you're stacking them almost like a side plank, right? Use your wall, use your dresser, whatever you have. Can we hold this for two more breaths wherever you're at? I can do the half moon on this side. Last breath, squeeze those glutes, lift that chest, and then inhale, step it back to that lunge. One last time, woo, exhale, down dog. So your choice, you can go through your flow again, or you can just come right into child's pose. Everyone's gonna be in child's pose when we're done. So whatever you'd like. Woo, take a couple breaths. You can sit back onto your blocks or a blanket, or you can find a forward fold in a seated position. If this child's pose bothers your knees in any way. Take a couple breaths, shift your weight side to side. Hold that there. You're going to slowly walk those hands up, inhale, and exhale. Take a breather. Ooh, I'm sweating. How's everyone feeling? Thumbs up, we're good. We're just gonna finish with a couple of stretches. I wanna get into our hips and glutes. So you have the option of a pigeon pose. If that doesn't feel good on your knees, you're gonna do a figure 4 stretch. This is your figure 4 on your back, this one here. If you're doing pigeon, come on up to down dog. And we'll start with that left leg in front. So just reach it up. Take that left leg to the top of your mat. You want to try and get your shin parallel to the top of the mat. Could even use a block here for your hip. And then once you're here, lower down onto those elbows, a little deeper stretch. If you're doing that figure 4, your ankles crossed over your knee, and you can pull your legs into your chest for a little bit deeper stretch. Just keep your head down. So the pigeon can definitely be hard on your hips and knees. So it's just an option. Don't have to do it. If you're on your back in your figure 4, go ahead and switch legs. So just cross the other ankle over your knee. If you're in pigeon, gently lift up. Slowly press back to down dog and just switch. And bring the other leg to the top of the mat. If you're in pigeon, lower to those elbows. If you're on your back, figure 4 with me. And pull those legs a little closer to your chest, right? So either stretch, really getting into those hips and glutes. Again, so important to get those stretched out. Even a butterfly stretch is a good alternative as well. Stretching should feel good. Maybe a little uncomfortable, but overall should feel good. Slowly lift out of it. So if you're on your back, you're going to stay there. Pigeon people, we're going to join them. Just slowly press up. Come back to that down dog. Lower to the knees. So everyone on your back, pull your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. Let your spine, your body sort of decompress here. Circle the ankles, wiggle the toes. Let's drop those legs to the right. So keep them bent, keep them close to your chest. All the way to the right, extend your arms, look over your left shoulder. Your legs don't touch the floor in your twist. They can relax on a block or a towel. Spinal twist, look over that shoulder. If you want a little more, extend through that left leg. You can straighten it out. Press through your heel as if you're pressing your foot into a wall. You'll feel a little more of a stretch along the side of the leg. And then very slowly bend the knees, bring them back to the center. Pause for just a moment, and then you're going to drop to the left side. All the way over. Extend those arms, look over your right shoulder. And if the legs don't touch the floor like mine, you can just place a block or a blanket there. If you want a little more, extend through that right leg, straighten it out, press through that heel. Try to bring your toes up towards your hand. Get a little more stretch. And then slowly, slowly come back to the center. Give yourself one last hug, knees to chest. Lower your feet to the floor. We're going to come into a bridge here and hold it for a couple of breaths. So you could slide your block under your hips, or you can just stay in that extended bridge. So lift those hips up. Feel free to interlace those hands underneath. Maybe pull those arms in. We're going to hold this bridge for a couple of breaths. Knees should be right on top of those feet. Your feet are just about hip distance. Just lifting those hips a couple inches. Hold this for 2 more breaths. And then very slowly lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Feel free to do 1 more set of windshield wipers once those hips are back on the floor. And then just for our last moments of class here, you're going to find your Savasana, relaxation pose, whatever that may be. Feel free to do 1 more stretch here or another inversion, whatever you like. Once you have found that position that's comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Allowing yourself to be in this present moment, not thinking about what's going to happen later today or what happened yesterday, but just being here now in this moment. Slowly start to flutter your eyes open. Moving your head from right to left. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. Rolling over to one side, pressing yourself up. Finishing up in any comfortable seated position you like. Once you're there, twisting gently over to the right and to the left. Maybe a couple of shoulder rolls. And then just as we started class, with that nice deep inhale, we will also finish class the same way. Reach those arms up, inhale. As you exhale, bring your palms together, lower down to heart center. Always thank yourself for allowing this time for you in the morning. And then we'll say namaste to one another. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.